As you can see, I've unveiled the fashions that people are wearing,
Yes,
the
yes.
kind of buildings and stuff that are in the town. It's kind of the town itself is kind of a mixture between a stockade wall and some stone buildings and stuff. It's
So it's
you,
more of a frontier town as opposed
yeah.
to a city, one of the
Well,
eastern cities with paved roads, etc.
I would say it's a weird mishmash between the two because in a
Okay.
more frontier type town, you've got a lot more. All the buildings are made of wood, assuming there's
Hmm.
wood around as opposed to sod like in the Midwest. And yes, I've been in actual real life sod buildings and frontier towns too. But yeah, this is kind of a weird mishmash. Eh, yeah, let me give you some description here because you're going to get taken through the arcology.
Yeah.
Oh, as far as
Just
the
just sorry, I was just going to say one thing to clarify because it I wasn't too sure. On the map, you've got that blue line. Is that a river or is that the border of the ocean?
border of the ocean, basically
Right.
for
Yeah, that's what I assumed. I just wanted to confirm that it was actually on the ocean.
for
And
the
so is top north or is this on a side?
oh no,
And
I
the
always make the top north because I'm not a
okay.
tremendous dick like some of these map makers. But for the viewers at home, from north to south, it goes like heavy forest and then a big swath of cleared land that has uh, different crops in it. And I believe the easternmost crops is like we make wine in these crops, and then everything in the middle and west is like we grow food here. And then further south, it's got like it goes arcology, and then south of that downtown. Then east of downtown is Stinky Town. That's where all the like rendering animal fat, smelting metal, shit like that goes on. And then west of town is, and there's actually I forget what the scale is on this, but I actually had figured out the scale. If I find out, I'll let you know. And then west of town on a hill, whether it's man-made or they just found a big flattened hill or whatever, so that they've got a little bit of elevation, you're not sure, is a big fort. And it's a really big, as you can see, the fort is huge. It's
Yeah,
almost the
yeah.
size of the town. This is the kind of fort that you could probably fit the town into. This is very much a it strikes you as a it's not a town under siege, but it's a town that's expecting to be able to fight
Hmm.
at some point. But also in regards to the furries, and I do call this zone either furry western or wild west, using Y's for instead of
Hmm.
I's because nobody else has named their shit that for some reason. Um, Hold on a minute, let me see. They're all pretty much anthropomorphized humans. Where
Hmm.
applicable, they have the tail of the creature, the head of the creatures. The hands are all fingered things, but may look weird. Everybody speaks English. Let me see if I can find the different kinds of creatures just to give you an idea of what.
Well, we've already encountered a rhino, a warthog.
Mhm.
Um, where's me? Wrong page. Rhino, a warthog, a dog, a zebra, a goat, and I was there a giraffe?
Probably. Most of the animals here seem to be mammals. There may be most of the carrying beasts are reptiles. No insect furries at all.
Hmm.
Um, let's see what else. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the fashions. The women's skirts are domed and bell-shaped. Petticoats, flounces, tiers, bloomers, palatoons, lace, cape jackets. Men wear matching coats, waistcoats, trousers. Mutton chops are in on the animals that have hair, sideburns, mustaches, high collars, um, bow ties, frock coats. Um, the sack coat is also visible here and there. They have bowler caps a lot of times um, for the working classes, top hats for the upper classes. Yeah. So, but the whole thing kind of, well, let's see, what time period was McKay from?
Uh, he was from he was from 21st century
Okay.
and sometimes from the 19th century.
This thing from your 21st century experience smacks of fucking Disney to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Hardcore Disney fucking, talking animals adventure.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So just
Is there with the mix of the, I suppose, species, or I don't know if
hmm
there's something I'll need to find out if they're species or races, how they
hmm
term themselves. Is there many carnivorous, well, what I would term as a carnivore, like lions, tigers, that
Yeah.
sort of things like that?
Yes. However, they all seem to be, kind of just it's if humans had as little problem with color as these things seem to have with their different
Yeah, yeah. So
things.
there doesn't seem, so
Yeah, yeah,
the lions and tigers don't seem to be ruling the show as such. They're just other people.
yeah. You're pretty sure that also,
Okay.
that zebra has married the giraffe, and some of their kids are zebras and some are giraffes type
Oh,
thing.
okay. That was something else I was curious about. All right. So there
Mhm.
is interracial or interspecies marriages, I
Yes,
suppose.
but nobody has seemed to notice. It's just
Nobody seems. Yeah.
No, they care maybe as much or less than people do about their astrological bullshit.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So, yeah, weird. So, uh, going through the oh, if you see Chris banging around, let me
Yeah. Yeah.
know because I'm busy looking at my notes. So,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much since it's just you right now, if Chris appears, then we'll adjust. I'm easy. The soldiers are making sure to keep a half dozen to one advantage against you. They don't seem super hostile. They're also keeping an eye on Simon. And Simon, it appears that saving his life is really making your life a lot easier. He is
Mm-hmm.
he's pretty much nonstop babbling about how you're great and everything. He also does whisper to you if we get separated, I'm over in Stink Town and stuff because of the mines and stuff. Contact me there if you need to. Okay.
What was the name of your business?
Oh shit. Wait a second.
I mean, briefly mention.
Whirlpool. Whirlpool. Is it Industry Enterprises? Whirlpool. Yes. Oh, where'd it go? Motherfucker. Yeah, it's like Whirlpool, either Industry Enterprises, something with a Whirlpool for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Uh, bit of flavor text for you here then.
Go for it.
The rifles that a lot of the people seem to have are the push a bullet down the barrel style, as opposed to the more modern thing that you guys had.
Um,
You,
is it falling stock? Is that the term for them?
no, they call it either matchlock or wheel lock.
Oh, okay. That as in the wadding, the bullet, the wadding, the thing down with
Yeah,
the shoving it down. Yeah.
the,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
if you
So
can get three
the older
bullets
style.
off,
Yeah.
3 bullets off per minute's really good.
Yeah.
You've got one. Apparently, your rifle and the rifle of the people that came hunting Simon was bleeding edge tech,
Mm-hmm.
because there are some here and there, but it's like I have the Nimbus 2000 broomstick type of thing, right?
Yep.
Um, let's see, the soldiers bright blue uniforms, various braiding stripes, feathers, and hats. Um, Pretty much bigger the hat and more feathers, the more likely to be an officer. Um, you pick up a new skill at Learn if you can make it. Roll your Leoness military uniform recognition skill, please. Who says you don't get some interesting shit?
No. Oh, just fail. No more.
Damn. All right. So anyway, yeah, uniforms. About a quarter or more of the people you see are wearing uniforms of one type or another. There's also what looks to be cowboys, merchants, traders, kids, etc.
So where we're walking, is there shops and stuff about?
Yeah, I'm going to give you a full description here. There's so much to see. Pretty much right now, you're doing the getting blasted with description thing as you're going through this. Also, just so you know, it appears that unlike humans, they don't have a problem with gender. You know, it's like everything's pretty much equally split among gender lines. So half the soldiers roughly are female, half are male, half the cowboys are female, etc. The gate is the gate you came through, pretty much a big double door with no imagination. Once through that, you see merchants selling a variety of things. There's even a stand for lucky trinkets, $3 each, run by. You get to see your first elf. No sandy roll. It pretty much looks like a standard token-esque elf dressed in a bit of American Indian style.
Okay.
So this is kind of odd to you because, you know, other furries are pretty much, it looks like they're constantly wanting to press forward and sell people things, but the soldiers are kind of keeping them back. The arcology area that you're getting paraded through, you're going to guess is like the foreign gate. This is where pretty much lots of different people come in and sell shit and stuff, and the foreigners can come here. They also have you spot 3 short, stocky, super dark brown guys. Give me an anthropology roll. Standing in an unmoving group. They have no hair at all, including eyebrows. And they're all dressed in a combination of like a diaper and a loincloth with a cape and feathered headdresses.
Yes.
And you made it?
Yep.
Wow. These guys are from down like what's the racial group that Mexicans are descended from? Like one of their big groups.
Not Incan.
No, not Incan. The other one. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Mesoamerican? No.
It's they're just north of the Incans. It's the
the Aztecs, the Incans, the Mayans.
Yeah.
But yeah, as in the more Central America.
Yeah. These guys are from down there. Also, another thing that immediately strikes you is all of their bodies seem to be glowing like with an inner red light, as though you can see their red aura almost. Near them are 6 collared, and they are humans, but not like you. So apparently the animals have problems differentiating between humans. And there are 6 other collared men with like the other guys, pretty much the whites of their like their eyes, the glowing ones, their eyes seem to be rolled up in their heads, so you can see the whites of their eyes. But they have 6 collared guys near them, only wearing the diaper parts and leg shackles and stuff, who have normal eyes, no red glow, and they kind of look like hopeless and resigned. The furries are giving these guys a wide berth.
So, like, would look like some slaves or something.
Yeah, you're guessing that the red glowing guys who are kind of dressed the same, but then have more advanced shit. Like I have a cape and a sash, and that makes them different from the slaves who are just wearing the same kind of diaper that their captors are. So apparently there is some slavery going on, at least with the brown skin guys. The this whole area, the arcology's construction feels a bit slapdash and a little bit temporary. And holy shit, this is a mild sandy roll. As you see, it looks like a goblin from Gringotts scamper by and disappear in the crowd on its own business. And you're like, little fucker. It's conveniently the size of a little person, just in case we make a movie out of this.
Not a roll like that.
You missed it?
Mm-hmm.
D4. You say. Fortunately, it won't make you go berserk and bite your captors. Hooray. Goes toward Goblin.
All right. 1 point.
Ooh, it is a slight start. In the distance and not on your route, there are several tall, thin figures dressed in a combination of Lord of the Rings and American Indian styles. These are more elves. Near them are a bunch of other stick-thin figures who are dressed in tattered robes with hoods and wrap. It looks like, imagine an elf and then wrap him like a mummy and then put extra clothes on top of them with big hoods and stuff. That's what the other figures are. They're just standing there motionless next to the elves who are dressed like American Indians.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're just staring at you like, what the fuck is this type of stare? And it's it's not a huge amount of shops in the arcology area, but lots of tent tops with rickety ass tables set up with goods and maybe blankets on the ground with things for sale on them and stuff. But then they take you from that circle into the bigger circle. The bigger circle that kind of squiggle through the middle of it's a brown road. Eventually you'll see that, and that is like a proper paved road, probably the first one in town that goes from the docks to the fortress. Down at the docks, you can catch sight of the ships, and it looks like they have a combination of clipper ships and steamers, as you can see with more pictures. And by the way, for those of you watching this and wondering why don't we get to see the pictures, it's because they're proprietary for somebody else, and I stole them off the internet to amuse my players. But if you get into the game, you can look at the pictures like Pete is. Oh, I'm a dick. So, the downtown area, after getting scrutinized by the guards at the next gate, the guy who's commanding your little squad, he talks to them, they talk to him, and then they take you into the downtown area. The downtown area looks like much more of a normal Old West style town, kind of more of a out east type Old West town rather than a Western town, a lot more stone and stuff.
Yep.
They do have some of the wooden sidewalks, bars, restaurants, a newspaper, gun shops, etc., etc. Ass loads of people in blue uniforms. Couple are wearing a different brown uniform with a small sheriff star on it. Your guess is local law enforcement.
Yep.
Everybody seems to be yelling at each other. Beasts of all sorts seem to be making noise, wheels creaking, construction everywhere. It's fucking din. A lot of the buildings also have their own small water tower on top. Tallest building, 3 stories, wide streets, narrow alleys. The furries walk on the sides of the street, leaving the middle open for horses and carts, at least in theory. That's supposed to be how it works. And in the center of the streets is like a sewer thing. You know how the medieval style streets have like the strip for the sewers? However, you notice that here and there is a hole where shit actually goes down, which is weird. Very weird. The horses seem to be kind of like regular horses, but much more reptilian, and they keep them in the shade near water troughs and stuff like that. Give me empathy roll for general population of furries reaction toward you. You don't see any of the red glowing guys nor the elves in this part of town.
Oh.
No? Who knows what they're thinking? They're just watching you. Lots of scaffolding too, because I love me some scaffolding.
Yes, you do.
The street that's marked in brown on the map is cobblestone, and you do see cobblers sitting on one-legged stools here and there working on it. Looks like they're working on expanding the streets, but it's by hand and it's very slow going. They turn and are marching you toward the fortress area.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty much just walking through town right now.
Yeah.
At the fortress area, big wooden door bound in iron style gates. It's got a cannon. The walls are 10 meters high, which for a fortress, not that fucking high and impressive, right? They have cannons pointed toward the downtown as well as just sticking out everywhere else. They also have a balloon, like with a basket that's tethered to the fortress, and that's high up over the city.
Style.
Pardon?
Observation style balloon type thing.
Exactly. Yep, just like the old World War I barrage balloons. When you're going, give me a smell roll as you're passing through the or get to the gate.
Smell. Yes, by over half.
Oil. You're going to guess that they can dump like burning oil on people, and you definitely smell that shit.
So just normal oil, not like the rancid smell of whale oil.
It could indeed be whale oil. Take a card. I hadn't thought about where they got the oil from. Yeah, whale oil would be more likely.
All right.
Give me a listen roll.
Oil, from what I've read, whale oil is pretty bad. From a smell perspective.
Yeah. I have read that also in some Nantucket books.
Clogging greed. Yeah, exactly. For like Nantucket, apparently, was quite a whiffy town.
Did you make your listen roll?
Sorry?
Did you make your listen roll? There's a quiet argument going on between one of the bigwig gate guards here at the fortress and the guy who's, why didn't you take him to the Elvish embassy? Sir, I don't think he's an elf. I'm sure that Colonel Eaton would be most displeased if he weren't brought to him at once. A lot of the guards here are rhinos with the number 6 patch on their uniforms. They then send for the lieutenant, who turns out to be pig-headed with orange hair that looks fake. He comes up and looks at you and he goes, "You're an elf."
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Admit it.
I don't have pointy ears. I'm not slim and that, and I'm from Australia.
He looks at somebody else accusingly. Australia? Says the other guy.
I'm speaking with an Australian accent, so I'm not.
Yeah, they don't know what Australia
accent, is. Yeah, I just mean that my accent would be different to, depending on what they've encountered, be different to anything they've heard.
We're going to take them to the captain and find out what's going on. Right. So they appear to be baffled by you, and anytime that people get baffled, they just pass the bullshit up the chain of command.
Yep.
After going in through that gate, even more guards join your procession. They have buildings of both wood and stone, up and down fucking stairs. It's a bit of a maze in here. Eventually, you get taken to an officer's mess, and some of the guards go off to fetch the powerful and the good.
Is Simon still with us?
He's probably been since Chris hasn't shown up or notified us. I'm going to guess that he's been taken off to stew in a different cell or something.
Yes, I know. I meant Simon the Rhino.
Oh, Simon the Rhino. Thank you very much for take a card. I forgot about his dumbass. Yes, he is.
I thought he possibly would be. I just wanted to confirm he hadn't been peeled off somewhere.
Yeah, we'll have Chris peeled off, or just sitting there acting like Gollum in the background or something like that. Yeah, that'll be good. So the colonel and the major eventually walk in. Let me tell you a little bit about them.
dump it down here somewhere.
This is what have I seen today for different heads on stuff. Aardvark, bear, beaver, cougar, coyote, dog, fox, hedgehog, hippo, horse, hyena, lemur, llama, monkey, mouse, otter, rabbit, sheep, skunk, wolf. Yeah, that's a lot of shit to see.
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling very overwhelmed by all this shit.
Yeah.
And Logan's feeling overwhelmed at not being able to find his fucking NPCs. Ah, there they are. I managed to hide them from myself. I'm awesome. So the major and the colonel. The major is Major Emily Winthrop II. Terrier head, brown with black patches, female. She has a bit too much fucking energy, and she's like, "Why hasn't this elf been taken to the Elvish embassy?" They're like, "He says he's not an elf. He says he's an Australian. He's an Australian."
What species was Emily? Was Major Winthrop?
Terrier.
Terrier. Okay.
Colonel Eaton is his name is, no, just Colonel Eaton. Bulldog with big jowls, brown, and a over-the-top British accent. Because all bulldogs are secretly British. And he says, "Well, we'll just all calm down here." And the lieutenant's like, "I've captured this elf who claims he's actually an Australian." He's like, "I don't know what an Australian is. Are you a type of fish?"
I don't have gills.
Very good. You see? They examine you for a while, especially your ears, which seem to fascinate them.
They are not pointy.
They touch them to make sure. In fact, I would say that over the next 15 minutes, your ears could best be described as molested. Bad touch.
Maybe we're the furry. No.
It's awkward having furries molest you, but you know. So, right. Then they're not quite sure what to make of you. Did this Australian, they're taking to calling you that because the word keeps getting brought up, and so now they think that your breed is Australian.
That's fine. It makes it easier for
them. Right. Well, did he put up much of a fight? "Oh, he fought bravely," says Lieutenant. And Simon's like, "He didn't. He turned in his weapons and didn't fight anybody." Well, do you take responsibility for him? Yes, says Simon. Totally. And then at that point, there's a fucking hurried knock on the door, and the colonel's like, What? And the guy bursts in. He goes, Sir. It's a moose-headed guy. He had problems getting his fucking horns in. He says, 3 ships are spotted flying the royal flag. The colonel says, "By McKinnon's black pistol." And the colonel looks at the lieutenant and goes, "Get him back his possessions and get him out of here. We'll have to continue this a different time. Take him out of the fortress. Go. And the lieutenant's like, "But we should imprison and interrogate him." And the colonel's like, "Ah." So you're now hastily getting escorted out.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a new possession of basket that has all your shit in it. They just stuck in your hands, took away the paper, and pushing you forward. All your shit's still in there because they haven't had time to paw through it.
Yep.
You're given the "we'll be keeping an eye on you" by the guards, as they see it as a mandatory part of their duties.
Yes. Of course.
Simon's like, "Holy crap. We should go over to where I'm at, where my place is instead."
Sounds good.
Great. Then, essentially, to summarize, you guys are heading out, and you see a big procession, a royal procession coming by. going from the docks up the road.
Okay.
Because it takes you a while to get out the fortress. It takes you a while to get your shit, all that stuff. And so by the time all that happens, you end up passing the royal procession, which stops. And then you get to see the princess. Let me tell you a bit about her procession here. Blue-clad rhino-headed officers clearing the road. If necessary, they'll use rifle butts and bellow clear the road. A couple hundred soldiers are stationing themselves on either side of the road to keep crowds back. They have various trumpeters, a lot of formation marching, some in front, some in the rear, some along the sides. Purple-garbed soldiers, lion-headed soldiers with resplendent ruffs, feathers, and buttons so shiny that they reflect the sun like mirrors, surround the royal party. The trumpeters have small flags hanging off their trumpets. Oh, here, you guys see what the royal symbol looks like. There it is. It's under the ships if you're looking for it. Isn't that lovely?
Scroll. Okay, so it's red with a upside down black V on it.
Yes. And oh, give me a heraldry skill roll.
No.
Cool. Let's see. A young lion-headed woman in a richly embossed dress on a horse is followed by an old lion-headed woman more modestly dressed and carried in a palanquin, followed by a dozen servants, various animal heads, followed by a few wagons of baggage. Young people cheer. Many hold up their children to see the procession. Some throw flower petals. The young lady riding on the horse is doing the royal wave until she sees you. Then she stops her horse. Everybody behind her fucking scrambles to stop before running over the other ones. And then the guards up front march for a bit until one of the trumpeters makes a little and they all stop and then they come back. And the young lady just sits there and fucking stares you in the eye. What do you do?
Are people bowing or curtsying, that sort of stuff? Or are they just standing there gawking at them?
Well, they were gawking, but now that she stopped, there's a lot of nervous bowing going on.
Oh, bow.
Give me an etiquette roll to pull it off and not look like a tosser or like you're doing it ironically.
Yeah, so I'm take my top hat off and bow to etiquette.
If you fumble, you'll throw your top hat at her.
I didn't fumble, but I didn't make it.
You look like you're doing it ironically.
Wasn't a very good bow.
Right.
Bow with someone who's not sure how much they should bow.
Yes, you bow inappropriately. The lady leans down, says something to one of her guards. He looks around, sees you, and begins making his way through the crowd.
Okay.
When the richly dressed guard gets close to you, he growls, literally. The princess would like to meet you. Follow me.
Certainly, sir.
Simon looks like he's going to go with you, and the guard looks at him like, no. And he goes, you know where I'll be. And he's doing the fade back into the crowd like Homer Simpson into the bushes. Right. So pretty much what ended up happening is, to summarize, you got freed from the fortress, recaptured by the princess, and brought to the fortress again. But this time with the royal party. You've upgraded.
But I'm assuming I'm not like they.
Oh God, no!
They haven't disarmed me or anything. They've asked me to accompany them come up to the palace sometime.
Well, actually, one of the servants does take away your basket, and so they have actually disarmed you. But it's more like, I am going to carry this for you. No, you don't get a say in it. You are now marching along. And so, yeah, the guards do make sure that you're politely but firmly relieved of anything larger than a pocket knife or anything that they think might be a weapon, because, but then you get brought in, and it appears that your etiquette skill will receive the ultimate test, as you are now going to be attending a royal dinner.
Right.
Yeah, you're thrilled. And what's even worse is because you are a new guest and the princess is wanting to fucking have words with you and shit, that means they have to seat you near her, which
Mm-hmm.
means that they have to readjust all the other worthies, which you give me an empathy roll.
Yeah, don't need an empathy roll to know they're all getting their noses put out of joint
Mm,
by some strange foreigner.
mm.
Yeah, make it empathy by over half.
I've made so many new enemies today. Hooray!
Yeah,
You didn't even do anything other than show up and it's like, I am now your mortal enemy and I don't know you.
there's a very strange looking creature over there wearing clothes. I wish to talk with them more.
Yep. So at the table, you've got Colonel Eaton, Major Winthrop. Um, One of the guys who got bumped down to pretty much the kids' table is the Lieutenant Babington. He
Mm.
fucking hates you now just because you showed up. Uh, the princess's name is Princess Danny.
Princess
The
Danny.
Dani. The matron, the old tigress lady, who is kind of like
Mm-hmm.
her. I don't know what the hell they call it. Matron. She follows her
Yeah,
around.
I know what you're talking about though. They're usually like an older duchess or something
Mhm.
who's their escort.
Yep. Her name is.
An old what's it? An old dowager or something.
Hmm. Well, she was probably the one who helped raise Princess Danny and
Yeah,
stuff, who
yeah,
looks like she may be a teenager, you're going to guess. I mean, you're not
yeah,
really hip on lion physiology and stuff, but you're going to guess teenager. It seems like a teenager. Anyway,
yeah,
the
yeah.
matron is named Parley McGrath. And because you don't have enough names that you're keeping track of, and you are getting introduced to all these people as well.
Yeah, yeah.
The captain of the Princess's Honor Guard is Florian Pundell. And also here is the captain of the flagship, Captain Cornelia Hunningford. In addition to that, the governess of the entire place, this fortress, town, etc., is
Mm-hmm.
here. And her name is Fijo Lashi. And she appears to be wanting to attach her lips directly to the princess's ass.
Of course.
Um, and then there's nearby table with you're going to guess the ministers and stuff, some of which we're obviously expecting to be at the adults table with you, the high table, but no, lots of armed and armored guards. And I wrote, and I would like to quote, oh look, another opportunity to completely fuck up your etiquette skill in my notes. So go ahead. And this is for the entire meal. I'm only going to ask for the one roll so that you can spend a lot of hero points on it if you're so inclined.
I
Or you can shoot peas
shall
out of your nose. Either way, I'm good.
I shall play a skill plus 15.
This campaign is one of the few where a bunch of etiquette plus 20 cards would probably be appreciated.
So brings it up to there and by over half.
Well, all right.
I would have actually made it over half without the plus 15. So yeah.
Everybody's super impressed. Apparently, Australian becomes a new verb. It replaces human because they don't know what that means. And they call the people from down south that glow red are referred to as reds or lights. Okay.
Reds or lights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both are derogatory terms.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't sound like what they'd be really called.
right. Well, it's unfortunately they're using it in the same careless way that say this in the South in the U.S. Plantation owners address their blacks. You know.
With the N word.
Oh yes. But let's see the princess is really curious as to where you are from.
Far distant land called Australia.
Did you sail here?
It was a long and arduous journey that took many forms of transport.
Where are your transport forms now?
Sorry?
How did you come by? Where's your ship?
Oh, a fair way away. It did not dock at this place. I've been on the land for a bit.
That's not possible, says Major Winthrop. You're crazy. Stop talking crazy. The elves would have killed you unless you stuck to the even sticking to the coast when you're out of range of the batteries of guns on the ocean. Princess Danny's like, she says to the major, whose mouth snaps shut, and she's basically inexpertly pumping you for information.
Yes.
She's not great at it, and the major pretty much mocking you because you're saying unbelievable shit.
So besides the fact that the reds are glowing, I've seen no sign. Well, that's potentially not supernatural anyway. I've seen no sign of magic at all.
Not obvious in here, but you can give me a essence times 3 roll. Sure, we'll go with that.
I don't think I've got any card to help with that. No. No.
Yeah. Who knows? You haven't seen anything obvious. People aren't, doing the Harry Potter, I don't need to scrub my pan, I have magic for that thing around you.
Yeah, or lighting cigarette lighting pipes with their fingers.
Now these guys seem to have as far as the furries go, cowboy technology. They have the strike right the fuck here and nowhere else matches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're pretty much yeah. Oh, give me a fast talk roll to make your story sound plausible. Lower is better. If you make it at full, Princess Danny believes you. If you make it by half, then Major Winthrop will stop giving you shit. If you critical
it, half.
Oh, wow, yeah. They say, all right. But yeah, this is all going on and stuff. What you pick up from the dinner, give me a listen roll to tune in on side conversations whilst maintaining your other conversations and such. Because the prince, no,
I'm too distracted by Princess Danny and the bombardment of questions of her and the major.
Well, she seems to have taken a bit of a liking to you. If nothing else, you're the newest interesting thing that she's gotten to see, and so she fortunately doesn't have a huge crush on you, which would be awkward. But
yes,
yeah, and for some people whose proclivities go toward furries, maybe a lot of fun, but for you, I don't think that Joshua McKay really, is into that. No. So, right. But you get a really good feed. It appears that the meats and stuff that they have are a bit different. But yeah, it's fine. It's not anything bad.
Does the princess and the matron and basically her people, are they speaking with British accents?
No. For some reason, only the head of the fortress is really talking with one.
Okay.
You have no idea where he got it, since there is apparently no Britain and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was trying to ascertain. without
Mhm.
openly saying, "So, where are you from? Somebody
Yeah.
show me a globe. What the hell are the countries called in this place?" Yeah.
Um,
Give me a history book. Yes.
that would be handy.
Yes. Yes, it
Um,
would. Which is why I'm being very vague about things until I get a lay of the land. Um.
mhm.
Okay. So they all appear to be speaking with similar accents to Simon and the guards, etc.
Yes. For some reason, everybody speaks
A bit
English.
posher, I'm assuming, but the same accent.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You do discover that there are other towns and stuff, but they're not close. Like it takes a week or two to sail there, and the same to get back again, type
Hmm.
thing. They're like hundreds of kilometers away. Um, the Somebody did ask if Leoness was well. You also heard Oswald or Oswell. Apparently, that's the country that she's from, and the city is Melwix, and they're in
Okay.
the kingdom of Genovia. So it seems that the world is not. There may not be an Australia here, which is awkward.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm thinking, what is Australia called here if it exists,
Mm, yeah.
or if it, depending on how well they've discovered the world.
Hmm. Also, you notice that whenever something is really bad, then somebody might stamp and do with their foot, like they're crushing something small.
Okay.